Hello, friends. It's video blog number 5 on the journey toward the doctorate. So I'm here in my office, my study here at Life Church in the High Five State, right here on the High Five State. Thought I'd give you a quick update because today I begin the final class in my doctoral journey at Liberty University. I'm doing all my classes online because I'm a full-time pastor at Life Church. I'm also a full-time chaplain with Amara Hospice and a full-time husband and full-time dad and a full-time student. Hey, because I love pain, all of this. So no, this has been about a 2-year journey going for a doctorate of ministry. My specialization is church planting and evangelism. That's my cognate or specialization. So this is the final class. I start today. It's supposed to run into March. And during this class, you finish compiling your portfolio or your thesis, and then you schedule an online oral defense, which is where they bring in some very smart professors who have read through your portfolio and they are peppering you with questions. Or let me tell you exactly how they put it in the video this morning. My professor said the oral defense is a dynamic dialogue. I love that. Dynamic dialogue. And then after your oral defense, the professors huddle together and grade your stuff, and they reply back to you whether or not you completed the task or if you need to repeat the task. And the way that they follow up with you at the very, very end is they will either call or they'll send you an email. And the key is you want to see who it's addressed to. If the email is addressed to Dr. Herron, then you know that you passed your oral defense. But if it's addressed to Mr. Herron, then it's like at the end of a game show that you just lost. Wah, wah, wah. So that's the tail end. This class is supposed to go into March. So for the traditional student, this would be an 8 or 9 week final class. However, I have a different situation because at the end of February, my wife and I are heading off on a long scheduled trip, a vacation that is free. This is crazy. This is so cool. So when you're in ministry, you don't have a lot of money, right? You don't go into ministry to become rich at all. Don't listen to anybody who says that pastors and teachers get rich. They don't. So my wife also works full-time as a Norwex consultant, and she is like number 2 in the region or something. She's ridiculously good at what she does. She's like a executive senior sales consultant, something like that. It's very, very important, right? So long story short, she did so well last year in her company that she earned a free trip for 2, including airfare, to Hawaii. So at the end of February, just in time for our 25th wedding anniversary, Amber and I are going without kids to Hawaii, and it doesn't cost us anything, which is awesome, except for, souvenirs and I think some of the meals we have to pay for out of pocket. But we would never be able to afford this any other way except through her company, through her earning this free trip. So this trip to Hawaii overlaps with the final weeks, the oral defense portion of my doctorate. And I've been on this 2-year journey. So I right away messaged my professor. The class just started today, this final class. And I explained the situation. I said, hey, I can do my oral defense before we leave or when we get right back, but I can't do it the actual week that it's, in the syllabus. And so my professor is super cool. We're going to schedule it for the week before we leave for Hawaii. And so that's going to be a little stressful. That's exactly 1 month from now, the week of Valentine's Day. I'll be doing my oral defense, the big finale for this doctoral journey. So I definitely would covet your prayers and would appreciate your support. Right now, this week, I'm working on compiling the portfolio, the written portion, the thesis. It's all about the ministry problem that I'm seeking to solve, and also project justification for the work I've put into my doctorate. And so basically I have to write a big report this week that identifies our ministry problem here at Life Church that I'm seeking to solve. So I'm going to briefly describe the ministry, the context, and then go into here's what the problem is that we're trying to solve. And then the bulk of this is going to be taking time to justify the work that I've done, whether or not I've been able to address, not necessarily solve, but address the stated problem. And so the explanation and the justification are really, really important for the professors who will then look at my work before the oral defense. They want to be up to speed on what I've been researching, what I've been studying. What I really appreciate about Liberty University is you cannot, when you type up a report, you cannot drag and drop things from past reports, and you definitely cannot drag and drop stuff from books and articles or websites or whatever, because they have plagiarism software. I don't think I've talked about this on any of the previous video blogs. They have this amazing plagiarism software that all of your papers, when they're submitted, they go through, and if it's something that you have not cited and you have not placed in your bibliography, the software will flag you. Now, praise God, I have not been flagged this entire time because I've been very careful to cite every single source and to have a complete works cited bibliography. But I really do appreciate this type of software in today's day and age where anybody could hop onto Wikipedia and just copy and paste. Impossible with Liberty Online. So if you're looking at possibly pursuing your college degree, your master's degree, or your doctoral degree, I really have enjoyed the process with Liberty University. The professors are all fantastic individuals. They really do care about the students. They're very easy to get a hold of. That's the other cool thing, is you can message your professor and you'll get a response in real time sometimes. I mean, they are in the office, and they are very caring individuals. They're very encouraging, but they're also tough. Don't get me wrong. This isn't like, Care Bears. This isn't Fuzzy Bear. They are very by the book, making sure that you are fulfilling the criteria, that you're exceeding expectations. The assumption is that if you are to be conferred with the title of doctor, you must be an expert in your field. You must be exceeding expectations. So they are looking at every detail, every angle, double checking that you've cited every source, zero plagiarism. And I've really, really appreciated that whole 2-year process. So this week is about coming up with 10 pages, a whole chapter in the portfolio that kind of synergizes all the work and research I've done for the past 24 months. So I definitely appreciate your encouragement, your prayers as we're in the home stretch. All the written materials, I believe, will be completed in the next 3 weeks. And then my oral defense will be the week of Valentine's Day. And I will know before, let's see, that would be February 21st is the latest that I'll know if I've completed the doctoral requirements or not. Which that would be very embarrassing if I didn't, but I'm open to the possibility of having to retake classes. I understand that too. That's a reality. So that's where we're at. Down below, I've copied links to previous video blogs. It's been really cool interacting with other students and other potential students over on my YouTube channel, which you should totally subscribe to because my mom subscribes and you should subscribe too. It's youtube.com/Jonathan Herron. But all that is down below if you want to catch up. Appreciate your prayers. We're in the final stretch, the final 4 weeks, heading towards that doctorate. Turn your head and cough. Thanks so much for tuning in. This has been fun. Now, how do I turn this off? See, now you're going to be stuck watching me forever. Okay, here we go. Take care, everybody.